Back in January of this year, 2024, I made a very popular video called Guitar Trends That Are Dying. And today I want to make a follow-up video talking about what I believe are the guitar trends that are on the rise here in 2024 and going forward. As always, man, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on any sort of streaming service platform, follow me on any sort of social media platform. I'm on every single one. Choose your favorite and give me some support, all right? I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys always for supporting me. For those of you who do, I see you guys and I appreciate you every single day. Thank you so much. So before I give you guys my list and my thoughts and opinions, I would love to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. So if you do me a favor, leave your thoughts and opinions on what you think are the hot trends in the guitar gear, the way guitar music is played and written, and anything in between. I'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comment section because I would love to learn from you all. And just because I have an opinion on what I think are the hot trends going up here in 2024 doesn't mean I know everything. So when you guys interact with me down below in the comments, it helps me become a better content creator and a better player as well. So thank you so much in advance. First and foremost, riff-oriented music. And now I am so excited about this because I predominantly create and write and share riff-oriented guitar music. Let's take you guys back in time about 20, 25 years when I was about yay big. Guitar riff-oriented music was the thing that was most popular as it pertains to rock and metal. There was a show called TRL, and all the time you would see bands like Limp Bizkit on like a grand stage, and Wes Borland has some of the best riffs of all time. Fight me in the comments about that. Then I believe with the boom of the internet and the boom of social media, as it pertains to guitar, it became a competition of who can be the flashiest, who can play the fastest, who can play the most amount of notes in the littlest amount of time possible. And that is kind of similar to like, you know, the boom of the 80s when like guitar shredders and guitar guys became a thing. I feel like that really happened in the 2010s, we'll say. Again, with the boom of the internet where guitar was more of a show rather than like a composition-based genre of music. Like it was more about what you could do rather than what you could say on the instrument. However, there's some very popular bands here in the 2020s that are carrying the torch and going forward with metal and rock music that are solely focusing on riff-oriented music, and I love that so much. The two that come to mind are Spirit Box and Sleep Token. They're kind of waving the flag, and then there's other bands that kind of blend other genres, like Falling in Reverse, for example. Anyway, guitar-centric music really seems to be the thing that is becoming relevant again, and I'm so for that. Next up, you guys should not be surprised by this on this list, and that is baritone guitars. Going back to the 2010s and then fast forwarding to present day, just like guitar shredding, another thing that was becoming very popular was like extended range guitars and adding more strings onto guitars because therefore we could get the riffs and the low tuning as well as the shreds, right? But again, as riff-oriented music, in my opinion, is coming back and is becoming more prominent, we don't need all the strings, and therefore we can just have fun and create with lower tuned extended range guitars, and we only need, generally speaking, 6 strings. It just seems like more and more slowly but surely there's more baritones being released into the market, and I'm just very, very much excited for that. I am so here for that. That's just one man's opinion, but you know, a lot of players are really gravitating towards baritones. I myself am a baritone player. I have a signature guitar coming out. It's a long time coming, a long time in the making, but it's right around the corner, as I've been told. But anyway, baritone guitars, I think they're popular. I think they're becoming more and more of a thing in the guitar world, and I'm so excited about that. This next one pertains to rock music in a live setting, and that is just going direct to front of house, no stage volume. In case you guys are unfamiliar, going direct to front of house is when you're at a live show and at a concert, what you're hearing as the audience member is what's coming through the PA, the big speakers that are hanging up on the ceiling. Well, most bands and most guitarists, from my experience and firsthand experience, are just going to direct and then just pumping their guitars through those speakers, and then the stage is completely dry, meaning no guitar cabs on stage. I've done scenarios with For the Fallen Dreams where I've had guitar cabs on stage and then going to front of house as well, so I had best of both worlds. That's my own personal favorite, as well as in-ears. I have in-ears, so I have 3 sources of sound: in-ears, front of house, and cabs. Now, more often than not, I'm noticing that bands, when they're traveling and they're touring, the stage is completely clean. There's no cabs on stage. I personally don't like that, but that's just a sign of the times, and it just seems to be that's just how live music's going. I love the old school approach. I've said it many times. Like if I had the means to, I'd get like a full stack of Marshalls and play through that. But it's just not feasible, and it's not lucrative here in present day. So it just seems to be that bands are just going direct to front of house anymore. and it is what it is. This one I'm really excited to talk about because I was waiting for a current event in the guitar industry to happen so I could put this bullet point on my list and in this video, and that is blending digital with hardware. Now, there's been certain things here and there, certain products and items that have come and gone that have done that, where you had like a piece of analog gear and you could put digital stuff or upload digital stuff on it and play with it, right? But addressing the elephant in the room, what I'm talking about here is the Quad Cortex plugin capability feature that is finally announced here in July of 2024. We, as just audience members and fans of the guitar industry, heard about this before the pandemic, like a long, long time ago. And myself included, a lot of people were like skeptical, were impatient, were just wondering when this was going to happen. But here it is in 2024, it's finally a thing. And it's such a shame because my Quad Cortex is in Nashville. I can't play with it right now. I'm so bummed. When I fly into Nashville in about a month, I'm going to see if I can get some content out for that. But what's fascinating is like this is literally like the next evolution. I feel as though Neural DSP has finally done something where like it's going to change the game in terms of how guitar players play their guitars and record their instruments. They've just done something even next level compared to what they've done in the past. They've just set the bar even higher. Like I just feel like any modeler, any sort of digital product, any sort of amp sim is going to have to find a way to be able to take it out of a desktop or a computer or laptop and put it into a thing where you can play it and upload it and manipulate it like the Quad Cortex allows you to do. And if you think about it, there's really 3 different products you could buy on the market for a guitar sound. We have analog amps, whether that's solid state or tube amplifiers, just like the old school approach, right? Then we have modelers, and then we also have plugins and amp sims. Well, these 2, modelers and amp sims, are slowly being blended into one thing now, to where, again, with the Quad Cortex plugin capability, we're kind of getting rid of the amp sim and modeler separation there. We're blending the 2. And that's going to be something that a lot of companies, in my opinion, are really going to have to keep up with. I'm really excited about this because there's certain amp sims I really enjoy with Neural DSP. I have my favorites from all companies, but I really love like the Nameless suite. Like I think that's probably my favorite in present day and may have always been my favorite, but the Nameless is just the most unique and the craziest in the best way possible. So if and when I can upload my Nameless Suite X onto my Quad Cortex, I can just use that tone live. And that to me sounds so exciting because I've never been able to do that. And I've always wanted to be able to do that. So now, yeah, I can do that with the plugin capability. So enough about Neural DSP. I don't want to make this bullet point all about Neural DSP. The bigger umbrella picture here is that because Neural DSP has figured out a way to do this, now other companies are going to have to keep up, and it's only going to push the market into this direction, meaning like more modelers and amp sims are going to have to collide and keep up with the Quad Cortex. Let's talk about another guitar brand trend, and let's talk about what I'm going to deem the Polyphia syndrome. And what I mean by that is almost every guitar brand out there has a guitar and or several guitars for purchase where it looks like a Strat and it can do high gain, but then it can also do split sounds and single coils and broken up cleans and has different mini toggles for different pickup configurations. And it's trying to cover everything because, again, a band like Polyphia has kind of changed instrumental guitar music as of late. They're definitely like one of, if not the literal hottest instrumental guitar band out there. So I feel a lot of companies are trying to do that, not only with guitar brands, but also pickup brands as well, and trying to blend the 2 together. I find myself whenever I'm scrolling through a new product line from a guitar brand, they've always got a guitar that like has everything I just described. And I feel as though like a band like Polyphia has really pushed that. That's a great thing. That is not a bad thing. That is nothing but a compliment. It's just a sign of the times. I'm pretty indifferent about these types of guitars. Like that's not necessarily my thing. I'm like a new metal kid at heart. I think I always will be. Not to say that I won't try different endeavors down the road, but I mean, most of my guitars really are just bridge pickups anymore and like an active pickup, generally speaking. And I'm more of a less is more kind of simple type of player. And I like to make my tones and my sounds with like, you know, harmonics and scrapes and noises on the instrument rather than like having the need to go to a different pickup configuration to get a certain sound. That's just not my thing. But if it is yours, that's amazing. I'm not knocking that at all. But regardless, it just seems to be a bit of a trend here in 2024. Most guitar companies are trying to make, like I said, the Polyphia type of guitar. And last but not least, let's talk about one more guitar gear trend, and that is high-end entry-level guitars. I'll say that again. High-end, entry-level guitars. And that's kind of like an oxymoron and kind of doesn't make sense and is rather confusing, right? Let me explain. There are so many guitar brands out there that are making their entry-level brand guitars really spec'd out and amazing, and or their guitar lineup that is like not the cheapest, but is like kind of right in the chute there, kind of like the lower tier. They're making them incredibly spec'd out and have high-end appointments. So it's kind of an oxymoron. It's confusing. High-end entry-level guitars. I think the glaring obvious example of this is Harley Benton guitars. I mean, guitars for like anywhere, give or take from, I don't know, $200 to $450 have like stainless steel frets, roasted maple necks, active pickups, brand name pickups, etc. Another guitar company in recent memory that comes to mind is Jackson Guitars, and more specifically, the Pro Plus series guitars that came out in 2023. Now, the Pro series is a professional grade guitar, but in the grand scheme of things with the brand Jackson, it is one of the lower tiers. I would say it's probably like the third lowest if I had to guess. Like incredibly affordable, the X series, and then the Pro series. That's kind of how I would put it. But then they also have like the Made in Japan line, the Concept line, the American line, and then the Custom Shop. So in the grand scheme of things, the Pro series was on the lower tier. So now they have the Pro Plus where it's like, damn, you know, like now we've got stainless steel frets and all the other fancy stuff that I always keep harping on. We have that as well. Take another brand like Fender, the Player series. Now we have the Player Plus series. You know, it's like the same shit where it's like they had the lower end and or entry level budget-friendly lineup, and then they spec those out as well. So it just seems like a lot of companies are trying to throw everything at their affordable lineups, and most players seem to dig it. And I think what's happening is they can throw all of these high-end specs at these guitars because the guitars are made in a different part of the world. For example, the Pro Plus series is, say that 3 times fast. The Pro Plus series guitars are made in China. So the cost of labor, I'm assuming, is rather low. So to make up for that and, you know, to throw more money into these guitars, they can just spec them out. That's just one man's opinion. I'm just speculating. But anyway, it's a great problem to have. It's a great trend, in my opinion, because we can get all these amazing specs and not have to wait on a custom guitar from the highest end of any particular brand or lineup. And yeah, we can just get everything we want for a relatively affordable price. So everybody, that's my list. That's what I think are some of the guitar trends that are on the rise. I would love to hear from you guys down below in the comments. What do you guys think of my thoughts and opinions? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Why or why not? I'd love to hear from you guys. I love hanging out with you guys down below in the comment section, okay? Again, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like this video. Follow me on any sort of streaming service platform. Give your boys some support. I really sincerely appreciate that, okay? All right, everybody. I'm out of here. See you guys next time. Later.